Join the new earth on the Kornelia Stephanie Show. Everything is energy, vibration, and frequency. Are you ready to shift your reality now and move into the abundance of your spirit? Call 1-800-930-2819 as Kornelia takes callers and guides people on the path of self-healing, peace, and liberation, releasing everything not in harmony with their divine truth. The Kornelia Stephanie Show, your catalyst for empowerment in the new earth. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Kornelia Stephanie Show, the millionaire imprint for women. We have an exciting show for you today. I'm Kornelia Stephanie, and I'm with my co-hosts, Momo Yasutake, Samantha Blossom, and Susan Glavin. And we are here today to invite you to tap into this amazing abundance gathering that we have created here for you today so that you can tap into this feeling of richness, the richness that comes from the inside out, that wealthy from the inside out, that abundance from the inside out. Over the last 2 months now, since September the 7th, when we launched the Millionaire Imprint, we have been clearing, and we've been clearing the field. We've been clearing our ancestral programs. We've been clearing the shame and the poverty consciousness that we all have had to release ourselves from the old matrix, from the survival matrix. And there's many people that have benefited from being able to listen to these shows and use the practical tools that my co-hosts have shared with us, because they've made these changes in their own lives. And so we're at a pivotal point right now in our evolution here on this planet, because there's a lot of people out there right now that are going through severe financial challenges. And that's one of the reasons why we created the Millionaire Imprint, is to be able to give those people hope, to offer tools and light and information to share with you so that you can change the trajectory in your own life and change your financial story now. Because really, truly, abundance is our true nature, and that is the truth. And we're all abundant. We're abundant beings. We live in an abundant universe. We're just releasing the stories from our past that don't resonate with us anymore. So if you're finding yourself in that place right now where you're unsure of what's going on with your financial situation, stay tuned, because we have a dynamic show lined up for you today. Momo, as a matter of fact, she's going to start out first, and Momo is going to talk to us about how do we tap into that rich feeling of abundance through radical self-love.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about, so what I do is I work with the law of attraction and manifestation work. I do manifestation coaching as well as some healing work. But so what I talk about with all my clients is about alignment, and how that's everything. That's like the main thing that I teach. And all that means is we're all vibrational beings. We all speak and understand energy, whether you're conscious of it or not. That is how we operate. And alignment just talks about getting yourself to the highest vibrational frequency you can, which is equivalent to an emotion. So the highest vibrational frequency in terms of emotion would be like bliss or joy, love, acceptance, gratitude, right? So the thing with this is, in order for you to get yourself into alignment, there's this huge level of self-love that you need in order for you to first allow yourself to choose a better feeling. So with anything that we want it because of the feeling of it, or the hope that by achieving it, there will be a feeling that comes with it. That is why we want anything and everything. So why not cut to the chase and feel that feeling now? But in order for you to buy into that belief and even get behind that belief and start embodying that and living that, you need to cultivate a level of self-love. You have to love yourself enough to let yourself feel better, feel good. And then every step of the way, when a choice comes up or something else comes up, you have to be able to there's going to be a fork in the road where you choose love over fear. And you have to love yourself enough to allow yourself to choose the love, to allow yourself to feel the love. So that's where that comes in, I think. And and the thing is, I love this analogy that comes up. So whenever we talk about like failures, or we're trying to do something and then we get a negative response or a reaction that we don't want, right? I always think about it as like you're a plane, right? If you're trying to get to a certain destination, this is the wealth, this is the life that you want, this is the abundance that you want, the amount of money that you want. Let's say if you're, trying to get there, you buy a flight, right? A plane ticket to Hawaii, that's your destination, that's where you want to get to. If you're on your way, you put it in your GPS, right? Well, hopefully the pilot does. And then you're getting yourself to Hawaii. So what happens is if you start veering off course, right, out of alignment to getting to the fastest way to your destination, the cosmos tells you. It's like you have little bumpers, and it goes, oh no, you're going the wrong direction. Oh no, that way. Okay, keep going this way, because if you're going to keep going in that direction, you're going to end up in Egypt, not Hawaii, right? You're trying to get to Hawaii. So every time you get a nudge or a reaction that feels negative or contrasting to what you want, it's actually your guidance system and an opportunity to be like, hey, we're lining you back into alignment, into the GPS route, the fastest route of you getting what you want.
And isn't it through our challenges that we transcend that energy? So
right.
we're found in a challenge. We find ourselves in a challenge. Maybe we find ourselves in a financial challenge, or whatever type of challenge it is. And so it is through that challenge that then we're being asked to tap into the feeling of what it is that we really want. Is that right?
Exactly. So without the contrast, you may not be very clear with what it is exactly that you want. You may think you want something, the contrast comes in and goes, oh wait, no, hold on, let me refine that. Let me readjust my desire. Let me get a little bit more clarity on what it is that I thought I wanted. And another thing too is I also like to think when we're starting this work out, when we're starting to understand how to work in terms of alignment and feeling good, it's sort of sad, but most of us forgotten what it's like to feel good and to live in joy on a moment-to-moment basis. Mm-hmm. So it's like a muscle that you have to rebuild back up. Your brain has a neural pathway that's on default to not feel good, or that's bought into societal or other kind of programmings that we have. So in order to build that muscle, we have to physically create new neural pathways, which is a lot of work if you've been living and have a default that you've been living on for 20 years or 30 years. So what happens is every step of the way, you have to constantly nurture and love yourself as if you are a 3-year-old child that's learning how to walk, that's learning how to eat on their own, right? From crawling to waddling to standing to walking, right? We're a child building those muscles, those skills, and when a child falls over when they're standing up, you're not going to tell it, what's that for? Why did you fail? You're going to say, it's okay, honey, get back up. You got this. You're doing great. Do it again. You got to be able to do that for yourself, because that's literally what you're doing. You're creating a new pathway in your brain to create what you want on the outside world. What you're doing is phenomenal.
Yes. Yeah. And that's why that radical self-love, nothing else will do during that time, is to really offer that radical self-love to you. Were you going to say something, Susan?
Yes, I was. And that's why I think it beautifully said, Momo, is so clear. And what I think is so important for all of us too is to gather in places like this, to be in circles, in gatherings like this with people that are up to the same thing, that it's all about vibrational, adjusting the vibration, because that's all we are, is energy. So that, again, it's so important to listen to calls like this, to get yourself around people that are in alignment with that, because that, again, when you get like 4 or 5, 6, you get a bunch of people gathered, guess what? That vibration is just heightened, especially with women,
Absolutely. We got to bring our inner mothers out. We've all got that archetype within us. There's all different kinds of archetypes within. I'm not going to go into that, but at least the mother aspect, we've got that mothering, nurturing aspect. It's in our physical DNA. It's how we're brought to be. And that's how society was created, by the mother, So if we can tap into that for ourselves, we all have our own mother traumas, plenty of that, right? All the beliefs that we hear, the criticisms, the judgments, the beliefs that we bought into because our mother told us so. And, at the time as you're a child, your mother is like God, right? Your mom or the goddess. So, how powerful the mother is. But if you can do that for yourself and mold and nurture yourself and create a being that you want for yourself, it is the most powerful thing anyone can learn to do.
I love that, Momo. I love that. And you are also offering a free gift today to the listeners. All of our co-hosts today have a free gift that they brought. So you are definitely receiving the abundance from this call today because everyone is offering their gifts. So what is it that you have for our listeners?
So I work with abundance and any blocks and resistances that might come up with it. So I have a room for my one-on-one coaching as well as an online course. I'm starting to book people into my online course that I'm creating. So and there's limited space. So if you want to reach out with me, I am doing free consults basically to see what your blocks are, discover what your abundance blocks are, and we can work through that together. They're going to be 20 minutes long. You can go to my website and book that. It's momoyastake.com. I'll spell that. It's momoyasutake.com. And you can book me right away.
Thanks so much, Momo. That's so awesome for people to be able to receive that abundance call together with you. And so in that segment that we just talked about, you talked about us nurturing ourselves and turning into our inner parent, loving ourselves. And that is the way to generate a feeling of abundance through radical self-love. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back on the Kornelia Stephanie Show with Susan Glavin. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Kornelia Stephanie, and I'm here to inspire creatively wild women to rise rooted in spiritual and material abundance.
Hi, my name is Momo Yastake. I am a healer, a soul strategist, a transformation coach, and manifestation queen, here to help liberate souls so that you can become the wealthiest version of yourself inside and out.
Hi there, I'm Samantha, and I'm here to inspire women to claim their wealth, vision, and their powerful presence.
Hi, my name is Susan Glavin, and I'm here to start an evolutionary revolution among women. It's time that we stand, we declare, we command, and we claim our abundant wealth.
Every Friday, you benefit from the experience of women who share their financial wisdom. For more information, go to KorneliaStephanie.com.
Welcome back, everyone. You should see us behind the scenes. We were dancing and singing and laughing and joking and carrying on and talking about our abundance and sharing our abundance with you. My beautiful co-host, Susan Glavin, is going to talk to us about how we've had our power all along and how that is part of our responsibility to now really use our power to claim our heart's desires. And that is how we're tapping into that rich feeling of abundance. Right, Susan?
Yes. And we do have the power, and we have had it all along. And it was so great because this Halloween, I had all these synchronicities flow into me embodying and embracing Glinda, the Good Witch, okay? And she was magnificent. And I really got, when I put this, it was really the bomb outfit, you guys. It was so fabulous. I totally, with the magic wand, you name it. And I even had the ruby slippers, because what I said was, it was now Susan, the Good Witch of the North, who actually got the ruby slippers. Okay, so I totally embodied that. And it was amazing the feeling I got to really claim, and I mean this, claim the magic. And wherever I went, the magic was there. It was probably one of the best, most magical, magnificent Halloweens I've ever had. And it was because I truly did claim my magic. And I spread it around everywhere. I stretched, I blessed, I wished, and I had people give me all their wishes, and they were so earnest, and it was so beautiful. And it was such an amazing experience to see and feel people's deepest desires, and to know that they're done, that they have them. And we are imprinted, most of us, I will say, I'm going to assert that most of us are imprinted with what doesn't work, what's wrong. That is going to be our normal mode of operandi. Okay, it's going to be whatever happens. The thoughts in our minds are going to be, what can go wrong? I'm not enough. This never works for me. And that's just the imprinting. Okay, now it's time for us to truly be responsible, because that's what free will is. We have the free will to literally shift. And I mean, it is such a slight shift in our perception of what we really want to create, what we want to experience, what is success for us, what fulfills us. And so one of the things that I've been playing with that's been really super fun is to have my go-to BS, get the BS out of the way mantras. Okay, so I have some set up. So if I ever have any kind of a thought in my head about lack or scarcity, or I go, oh my gosh, instantly I just shift, really coming into my heart, because as soon as I shift, I go right into my heart, which is really important here. And I say, I have all the money I need for whatever I need and desire. Boom, just like that. And whenever I have a thought about someone that might be, a judgmental thought or a criticizing thought towards someone, I say immediately, I have kind and generous thoughts towards others. So I have these set mantras, what I call them mastery mantras, so that I can shift my perception, because we know how powerful our thoughts are. And this is where that, owning your power, claiming your mastery, this is where it comes. Like Momo was saying, hey, it's going to take us some time to readjust that. But what I really feel is important for everyone to know is that because of the beautiful energies coming on the planet, because of the beautiful support that we have, because of all the beautiful things that are happening on the planet right now, we are so supported that I really feel that this transition, this change of perception is going to be happening like this, and it's truly about us, being responsible for it, folks. We have to claim it. We have to claim our power, our mastery, our energy, and start showing up in the world powerfully. Like we want other people to show up for us. We need to start showing up for ourselves in the world that way. Definitely.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's so well articulated, so well said. And so what would you add to this, Susan, because you told us about your mantras and how you wrote out your specific mantras to shift your mindset in that moment when you're challenged.
Yes. So
that you already have like a tool available that you can use, with an energy tool that you have available that you can use. What can you add to that by generating the feeling, like when you said you have all the money and all the money that you need, that all of your desires are met? What other addition can you tell us about as far as the feeling is concerned? Is to feel that abundance, to feel that money, whatever it is that you're.
What I've noticed, which has been so great, because when you're having a thought like, oh, you want to do something, and the thought goes, oh, I can't. I can't afford that, or I can't. That feeling's like you get that little in the pit of your stomach, that and the vibration is a lower vibration, not good, bad, right, or wrong. It's just a lower vibration. Mm-hmm. What I have been noticing, as soon as I shift, boom, as soon as I shift, I immediately feel better. I immediately feel like, yeah. And I know it's because I've truly claimed my power and my mastery. in that deeply knowing in my bones that I have mastery in my life. I absolutely am the co-creator here. I clearly get that. And so is everyone else. And I just want whoever's listening to this call right now to claim it and just to say out loud. And because our words are so powerful and they are generative, okay? They're generating what is happening in our life. So I just want you right now to say, I claim my mastery. I claim my power. I claim my vibrant, beautiful, extraordinary, brilliant self, and bring that to the world. I mean, just whatever it is for you, claim it, own it, be responsible for it, because we need you. We need all of you here, and you can do it. You absolutely got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yay. What do you all have to say about that, co-hosts? Yay.
Yay.
Oh, okay, we need a bigger yay than that. My
Yay.
Fuck yes.
Yay, yes. It's really time to get that fierce, fiery bullwhip out, folks, and whip that around and start creating. It's like Momo was talking about the different archetypes. We have them all, and sometimes that fierce one needs to come out that is determined and fierce about having exactly what you want in the world, and again, what are you going to do with all this abundance? Another wonderful thing. What are you going to do with all that money?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, because they don't realize that they can have it. They don't realize that what is all that goodness what are they gonna do with all of it, right? And so, are they ready to receive all of that? Are they ready to be responsible, like you said, with all of that goodness, with all that abundance, and be good energy stewards, right?
And I love that what Momo said, you're going to take steps. And like I said, I think it's going to happen quick, but I think to be gentle, if you can hear my voice, be gentle with yourself, be gentle with yourself, be gentle with yourself as you do this, because the more you can be gentle and kind and considerate to yourself, the quicker you're going to get there.
Yeah.
And and this is Samantha, I just wanted to mention that, when you're all lit up like that, all of your meridians are lit up, your acupuncture points, like everything's lit up. And then that allows more life force energy to flow through you, which just naturally equals abundance, So it's just claiming your powerful presence on the planet. And there's so many things to distract us from claiming that power. So I just wanted to be like, yes, thank you, Susan, giving us permission to say we can hold this now.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, with every choice that we make, we have to put our light into action. With every choice that we make, with every decision that we make, rather than focusing on the lack or of what's crumbling and what's leaving your life, what's no longer serving you, focus on the thriving environment that you're creating with that responsible power that Susan was talking about. Susan, you also have a free gift for our audience today. What is it that they're getting, and how is it that they can claim it?
Well, I'll tell you. Well, you can go to my website at www.susanglavin.com. And there we're actually this weekend doing a 2-day modern day mastery course that's off the hook. And you can also, I am also doing one-on-one self-mastery sessions. And as a free gift, I want to give you my how to create a sacred container for radiant expansion. And you can use that within any group that you're in. And it's so beautiful and so powerful. So it's yours free. You can just email me at susan@susanglavin.com.
Yay. This is so awesome. Thank you so much. What we're doing here with the Millionaire Imprint and sharing our voice, sharing our visions, our missions, our passions, and raising the roof on abundance, offering the tools that we didn't really have available to us, the way that we're making it available for others. And I want to invite everyone to go to and look at the past radio shows that we've done, because we've shared so many tools, so many amazing practical tools that you can use in your life right now. And you can go to my website at korneliastephanie.com, and you can look under radio, and all the archive shows are all listed there. And on all of the co-hosts sites as well, at Susan Glavin's site, at Momo Yasutake's site, and then at Samantha Blossom's site, you can also find some of the tools that we've shared with you over the last 2 months. So it's so exciting to really reign in the abundance, and this is our new earth. This is the new way, and we are the way showers, and we are living that vibration and holding that vibration, because it's all an inside job. And it's such an honor and a pleasure to be here with you. And so we're going to take another break right now. And when we come back, we're going to speak with Samantha Blossom. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Janet Hickox, and I want to tell you a little story about a story, and how my friend Kornelia Stephanie helped me through to the other end of that story. I have gone from the dark of a story I was telling myself that wasn't true to the light of optimism to see my way out of where I was and to where I want to go. And it all started with her scheduling a session for me to help me reclaim my money or my financial empowerment. Up until that point, I had been telling the story that my business was dying, that my business was not successful anymore. And the more I tried to figure out what was going on, the worse I felt about it. And when I had to get ready to do the session with Kornelia, she asked me to go look at the numbers and where I was through the year to date, and then also to come prepared with a number that I wanted to raise my income to. Well, I was quite comfortable with that part, right? I knew where I wanted to be. What I wasn't comfortable with doing is going and looking up those numbers. But I made myself do it, even though I tried to backpedal my way out of the session. She didn't know that, but I was going to try to get myself out of the session. And I looked up those numbers. And it was incredible that I discovered through that process that my business wasn't dying. In fact, I was doing 12% better than I had the year before. So I was shocked. I was shocked literally at the power of the story that I had been telling for months. But more than that, I was shocked that I had allowed myself to get there. And later in that day when I had my session with Kornelia, she pointed out some very obvious things, like, how are you going to get where you want to go if you don't know where you want to go? How are you going to get there if you don't have the goals written out, if you don't have it set up so that you know where you are and where you're going to go? Totally makes sense, right? I had been in business, somebody else's business, as a sales manager for years, and I was a national sales manager. I had awards for sales management. I had business awards because of numbers. And yet when it came to doing my own business, I totally forgot all that I'd ever learned. So by the time Kornelia, working with me in just one session, got me to look deeper at the numbers and where did I want to go, and actually, claiming where I wanted to go, I was filled with a sense of optimism and hope like you can't believe. It was like everything shifted for me. And I am so looking forward to our continued sessions to see how far I can really push myself to get where I've only dreamed of being, where I've never taken the dream and actually brought it into concrete existence. So thank you, Kornelia, for the work that you're doing out there. I appreciate it, and I can't wait to see where I go from here.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Kornelia Stephanie Show, and we're talking about abundance from the inside out and tapping into that rich, rich feeling. Samantha, you're going to enlighten us with your abundance gift.
Yes. So today I want to share about how just feeling abundant on the inside will attract more abundance on the outside. It's just the law of the universe, and it just is, and it just has to be so. So just a couple days ago, I was on a road trip, and I didn't know why, but I just felt like I could have paid for a plane ticket, but I was like, I'd rather just drive up with my friend, even though it's 3 hours. So we were from LA, we drove up to Santa Clara. And so in the car ride, we just sang the whole way. And we were just like beaming so much abundance and happiness for like no reason at all. And while we're doing that, we're both getting like booked with clients the whole way there. And I told her that would happen. And at first she didn't understand, but then she was like, oh my God, this is like actually happening. Like we're like driving, we're like both like, oh, I just got one. I just like, we're just like getting texts, you know? And of course it's like that may not happen right away on your journey. So just like Momo said, it's like, you know, first you're a little kid and you're nurturing this new way to think about life. Like our brain has really been programmed to focus on the negatives because it's been doing that for thousands of years. So we're on this like precipice of this like brand new way of like thinking, of experiencing life, where we can like have joy more often of the time. And the beautiful piece is there are so many higher emotions that we haven't even accessed yet. I know that I access it through energy work, and I know like I haven't even tapped into like the higher frequencies, but I know that they exist. It's almost like I've had tiny glimmers of them. And so the way society is now, it's like we're still kind of addicted to like suffering or drama or conflict. And I just had I was just being taught by a speaker, you know, like how to speak on stage. And basically he was saying like, if you don't have conflict in your story, you can't keep people engaged. And I was like, that's because everyone's stuck in their reptilian brain. And I was like, oh man, you know, like as you evolve on your spiritual path, you can hear the subtleties and you feel more excited about the subtle changes. You're not having to go through that like deep, dark, shadowy for you to even pay attention. And you can already start to fine tune and be like, oh, that's a little off track. You know, like, have you ever heard the expression like God will whisper and still until God has to like yell?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you know, so it's like it's a huge, so there are lots of people where if they don't spiritually awaken, they'll get sick, they'll get cancer, or they'll get a car accident, or they'll have an immune disorder, like something really big happening to them. And I'm saying like, why don't we listen to the subtleties and start to wake up from the subtleties and create micro joy everywhere so that we're not having to go all the way down there and have that wake up call, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's where, you know, and it builds momentum. So it's little tiny things like, you know, like sometimes you can, it's a perception shift. It's like you're washing dishes. You're like, ew, I don't want to wash dishes. And you can suddenly be like, whoa, this is going to be so much fun. It's going to nurture me. I get to bless all of my physical items. So I'll just start to like imagine rainbow light as I'm like washing and like blessing the planet with the water. But it's like, you just like decide that it's a fun game. Like you just have a perception shift. And then when you start to do that, it's like everything comes to life, you know, and that allows us to be like these little kids that just like enjoys life and like everything's joyful, everything's playful, and we don't have to get stuck in that seriousness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And so when we are serious, there's a contraction in our body. And when there's contraction, there's no energy flow. And if there's no energy flow, there's no nutrients going into your cells and the cellular toxic waste can't go out. So you want to create an environment where you can feel more relaxed, have more open flow, and that will naturally attract more abundance towards you. And so that's a good indicator of like, is this decision like making me feel more open and expansive? Because if it makes you feel more open and expansive, most likely it's going to attract more abundance. But if you know, sometimes people invest in like coaching or in all these things. And it's like, if they're feeling too much contraction when they invest in that, like maybe it's not quite the right time yet, but like keep working on that opening. And when they feel a full, just like moments of like an aligned yes, you'll feel like, and it might be outside of your comfort zone, but somewhere inside you just feel like, wow, like, yes, like this feels 100% awesome. Then you know you're on the right step.
Yes.
Even if it costs more than you're used to, but like you feel internally like this is a yes, then that's like a big yes. So
Yeah, that is a big yes. And I love what you said, what the speaker told you, that people are, if you don't have contrast in your story. And I think we really, we're feeling that too right now with the collective energy. There's so much fear right now in the collective energy with the suffering and what's going on financially, that you're also feeling that energy also. And so a lot of it has to do, is it mine? Is this really mine? Does this really belong to me? Am I feeling, because we're all empaths, we're all picking up the vibrations of what's going on out there in the world, and to really look at, is this really mine? And really learn how to, master your own inner garden and tend to your own inner vibration, and get that really juicy, get that feeling really good, and do that in the present moment when you're feeling right, when you're doing those energy shifts, when you're washing the dishes or whatever it is that you're facing with, really working on cultivating that energy. And like Momo said, this is a show where we're talking about Momo said, Momo said radical self-love. Momo said move into alignment.
Only because I went first. Someone else would have said it if I didn't go first.
Yeah. And so it's cultivating that energy within yourself, and becoming that own inner parent. Like Momo said, be your own inner mother, right? And yeah. And so here we are. And it's like, that's how we're generating those feel good feelings, right? Is really tapping in. And I think another one, what do you all think about this? Is like, really, like, remember a time when you were feeling really abundant. Like, think of a time when you were really abundant, or when something really amazing happened to you, and bring that feeling into your space right now, and then build on that feeling. Yeah, this is right here. I remember when I created this. I remember when this happened. I remember when I was the recipient of this amazingness, and being able to build and generate from that feeling, because we're at a time now where, even with all the contrast that's happening out there in the world, it's us, each individual being, that's making a difference through our voice, through our feeling, through our owning our power, to taking responsibility of our energy and becoming the energy stewards in co-creating our new world. And the truth is our new world is abundance. It's about being abundant. And the poverty programs and everything that we've lived with for thousands and thousands of years, we're not having it anymore, because it's not our truth.
Totally. And there's a huge thing on consistency. So consistency, it's like, and this is why we meditate and we do yoga, because we're building up our life force energy to be able to think about a thought in a specific way. And so, like, I invite our audience to even just have the one phrase of, I am successful. If you were to just say, I am successful all day long, and success is very different for every person. But if you were to hold that vibration and that thought for one day, and then 2 days, and then 3 days, just like see what happens in your life. And it doesn't have to be that phrase, but pick a phrase that you really, really love, that conjures up a beautiful feeling or emotion inside of your system, even if it feels like a lie at first. And sometimes it will, because it feels so contrasting. You're like, I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that. But then as you continue to practice, suddenly you're like, I think I'm feeling that now. and then you build that consistency, that new vibration, that new thought. Like, that's what starts to attract something new. And there's always two ways to do things. Like, we can go back and start to uncover the past and clear that out, or we can have so much positive momentum in right now that it has to organically clear out the past. So it's like there's multiple paths to get to the same direction. And that's why we have all these different healing modalities, all these different types of coaches, because really everybody can get you there. It's just, you got to pick one that you really love, and you got to do something.
Yeah. And I think, you touched on it with really generating that feeling, really building that momentum and generating that feeling, because that's really what it's about. It's about us feeling really good. And we came here to feel. And our physical bodies have resonance to feeling really, really good. And so it's just that habitually we haven't been living that way, right? Because we've been undoing so much of the old stuff, that we've been releasing so much, so that now when we're moving into a higher vibrational way of living and being, feeling good is our birthright. We came here to feel, and to feel all of it. And so really to hold and generate that amazing feel good feeling. One of my favorite feelings is peace. I absolutely love it when I'm in a state of peace, when I am the peace that I want to see in the world, when I'm feeling that peace and that harmony, because peace is one of the highest vibrations that you can be in. And that's when your body is in such a relaxed state where you can really receive healing, abundance, joy, just calmness, where real healing can take place. And so that's one of my favorite ones, is peace. What about you? What's your favorite one?
I really just, I do really resonate with joy. A lot of times I'm just in a lot of like laughter, and I really resonate with that. And then that also brings me back to thinking about the kids. It's like naturally they have so much energy that sometimes it feels very uncomfortable for the parent, because the energy contrast is so different. And so, it's like we have to unlearn and unravel so many things. Like already from school, we're like, nope, you got to sit down. You got to be in this like rigid box. And so much of our natural, like vibrant energy has already been shut down from there. And so it's like continuously like doing, and that's why it's like, it's fun to do the spiritual work. It's fun to do the transformation work. And it's like, it's a lifelong process. And it's like, if you don't get it right away, it's okay. It's like, you just like, keep trying a different modality, or try a different person, or it's like just do something. I mean, I wouldn't be where I'm at unless I tried 10 different people. I tried so many. I was like, oh, this is super cool, and then that's really cool, and like everyone had a different perspective. And then so I really encourage people to do that, because once you're on the other side, like your body feels so much more amazing, like your mind is so much clearer, like there's just so much stuff that's just easier when you move through this process.
Yeah. Samantha, you were going to also give our audience a gift. What was your gift for today?
Yeah, so I have a couple gifts. One is in the making. So when you go to my site, samanthablossom.com, there is the money mirror. And the money mirror is talking about the 5 elements, and how money is actually like a seasonal cycle, and how to like tune into that and get your money kind of like in gear with the cycles. The other thing is I have a 45-minute free soul discovery call. So if anyone would just like to like chat with me, see if I'm a good vibe to fit with them. And even if not, like I would just love to get to know more people. So if anybody is interested in just like getting a 45-minute call with me, that would just be really fun for me. And just kind of get some feedback on like, what do they want to learn, and what are more money issues that they would like to work through? Like, I'd love to hear their stories. I see myself as like a soul junkie. I just like love like hearing about people's stories. And so, like if I'm a good fit to work with them, that's awesome. But if not, like I would just love to chat with them and see if I can support them in sorting something out. So
yeah, that's awesome. And you better take advantage of that, because we've got amazing coaches on the call today that are offering their free consults, and every single one of them has so many amazing gifts to share. And so don't miss out on that. And I just love the conversation that we're having today, because when I believe that we really need to be a vibrational match,
right,
for what it is that we are seeking in the world. We have to be the match, right? So whether it's a relationship, whether it's a vibrational match to a job, whether it's a vibrational match to your career, vibrational match to money, attracting more abundance. You have to be that vibrational match to, to emit that frequency out to the universe, so that more abundance can come, and be that match, and be that vibratory match that you can draw into you. And so that's really where I feel like a lot of the things happen for people because they're not putting the frequency out of what it is that they want back. And so it's an important thing. So that's why it's important to feel your way into abundance, feel your way into a higher vibrational, emotional state, whatever feelings that you enjoy, because we can always find gratitude, right? We can always find gratitude about what's going on in our space right now, and feel so grateful about where you are and where you've come from, and the amazing journey that your life has been. And even if it's not 100% of where you want to be yet, but finding the gratitude in the journey. Wouldn't you say, ladies?
Yes. And I love what you said about alignment, because I see that with clients all the time. Like when they're really excited to see you and you're really excited to see them, there's just this magical spark that happens. And that just, and if you end up hiring the wrong person, like it can feel very like conflicting. And it's like, you're like, oh, is it me? Is it them? And it's just not a energetic match, and that's okay. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with either person. It just means like you want to find the right vibration for you. And I don't think there's enough tools to teach people how to know if this is the right fit for them. So over the next few months, I'll be developing something to clarify that. But for right now, it's just like tune into your feelings. If you feel like a full yes, you're like, oh my gosh, everything in my body is like, yes. Then I usually think that is like a clear sign. And sometimes, like I said, like maybe it's a stretch financially, but if your body is like, okay, it's a yes, then that's like your yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
I just wanted to say something real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So I think too, what the tools of that, seeing what's in alignment, because this is again talking about alignment, right? If you want it's a really simple thing. We just forget and make it a lot more complicated than it needs to be. It's a really simple feeling. When a vibration goes up, it's exciting. You kind of feel that flutter, like and there's an expansion. It's a lighter feeling. And then when it's not, it's tightened. You can feel your body going like this. There's like a sinking feeling. It's a very simple, and vibration can only go up or down. It can't be kind of one way. It's either up or down. There is no in between. It might be really subtle, or it might be a huge one, but regardless, it's up or down. So it's almost like you just have to cultivate your awareness. And people think that intuition is a power. Of course it is. And it's something that we all have. We just have to nourish that. And if we can bring our awareness up to be able to see the subtle differences of when our energy goes up or goes down, that's all it is. That's your yes, that's your no. If it's a huge yes, it's more obvious. If it's a subtle one, it might be like, I can't tell. Let me tune into that again.
Yeah, that's a great indicator right there. That's a really good indicator. It's the feeling state moving up and down. And it's the same way, Momo, I always say the light and dark can't really exist in the same space. It's like you're in once, it's either you're coming from that place of negativity or you're coming from that place of positivity. So it's like in that space. And it's the same thing with the feeling state. Both it's either up or down. It's either up or down, right? And so that's a really good indicator in raising your frequency. And so one of my gifts that I'm offering our audience today is the 25th person that sends me an email, the number 25, to radio@KorneliaStephanie.com will receive a 1-year membership to my Wealthy Roots Women's Circle, my online Wealthy Roots Women's Circle that meets online every 2 weeks. And it's a powerful group of women that come together and are grounding in wealthy roots and changing their financial story and designing the life of their dreams and working together as a group, because in group energy, we do so much work. So much greater work, because you can learn so much in being in a group, and you're listening to somebody else and you're like going, oh my gosh, I totally relate to this. I totally relate to that. And we clear and we release and let go of what's no longer serving us. I just want to share with you all one of the questions that was just recently at the last circle that was raised. And the question was, when you get into the joy and manifestation groove, and things do start happening, but what if you're working on manifesting income for something that has a due date, like rent or a plane ticket in time for an important event? and you have no backup plan. How do you banish worry or doubt? So that was one of the questions that came in. And what I said is let go of the backup plan. Let go of the backup plan. You don't need to have a backup plan because that's the ego that always wants to make sure that it's safe and secure and needs to have a backup plan. Build on what you've already have. Everything's happening. Great momentum is building. You're in the groove. The joy and abundance is happening. You're in the future with your thoughts and your consciousness about worrying about what's going to happen in the future. Keep this momentum going and bring your energy into the now. Let go of the backup plan and say yes to the abundance. Say yes to now. Say yes to the plane ticket. Say yes to whatever it is because rinse and repeat what you've already done. Rinse and repeat what you've already done, and just stay true to that game because that's really the truth. So feel free to go to KorneliaStephanie.com and sign up for my newsletter. Go to send an email at radio@KorneliaStephanie and be the 25th emailer and receive a 1-year subscription to my Wealthy Roots Women's Circle. Ladies, what are the final words before we close out today's most powerful abundance gathering?
Mine would be just find your favorite song, dance for 20 minutes every day, and just like really let it out. Like let your whole body free and just conjure up that joy feeling and just feel that you're blessing everything around you, the space, the people, the planet, just like with your vibration, with your energy.
And mine would be to just acknowledge where you are and love on it anyway. No matter what that place is, if you're in that joy, even if you're not, even if you can't be, it doesn't matter. Where are you now? I'm right here. I'm feeling kind of depressed. I'm kind of feeling like it doesn't feel like it's possible. Whatever that feeling place is, acknowledge it, give it a big fat hug and love on it anyway. That's the best way to love on yourself. And that from that space, it'll start to shift.
Yes, it's beautiful. Thank you, ladies. And I feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my soul. There's a feeling. Love is all around you. So turn into the Kornelia Stephanie Show. Watch all the past shows. There's so many tools and tips available for you. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Thank you, ladies. We'll see you again next time. Namaste.
So much love.